I would like to recapitulate upon many of the earlier 246 audio videos dealing with the sordid subjects of Muhammad, his Quran, his Sunnah, Sharia, Hadiths, and his legacy. Of course, this will entail repeating items that I had mentioned earlier. Repetition is very important for memory retention. In an adversarial confrontation, it is imperative, if not vital, to understand the psychology, beliefs, and traditions of one's adversary so as to avoid his strengths and attack his weak points, to minimize one's losses and maximize the destruction of one's enemy in the shortest possible time. Hence, knowledge of Muhammad, his Quran, his Sunnah, and the history of the Arabs is of the utmost importance in how to deal with this deadly enemy of humanity. 1,400 years ago, Muhammad unilaterally declared total and unremitting war against all humans who do not accept him as a prophet and be subservient to his God, Allah. He had thus split humanity into two irreconcilable camps. One, Dar al-Islam, territory of peace controlled by Muhammadan Muslims, his followers. Two, Dar al-Harb, territory of war, where all unbelievers, kuffar or kafirun, live. Unbelievers or kuffar are all those who do not believe that Muhammad was a prophet or that Allah is the same as the God of Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. It is crucial that the listeners or readers bear this very simple fact in mind at all times to understand the mindset of the Muhammadans. Currently, the followers of Muhammad or Ummat Muhammad, nation of Islam, is 20% of humanity, 1,500 millions. The remaining 80%, whom I call Ummat al-Kuffar, or nation of infidels, unbelievers, as seen from the point of view of Muhammad's followers and Sharia. The would-be victims of Ummat Muhammad is made up of all Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, Zoroastrians, Jews, animists, atheists, agnostics, etc. That is, any and all humans who do not believe as Muhammadan Muslims do. Muhammad's Quran asserts the following. Al-Tawbah 9.29. Fight, qatilu, those who believe not in Allah nor the last day, nor hold that forbidden, which has been forbidden by Allah and His Apostle Muhammad, nor acknowledge the religion of truth, Islam, even if they are of the people of the book, Christians and Jews, until they pay the jizya, onerous poll tax, with willing submission and feel themselves humiliated. Al-Ma'idah 5.51. O ye who believe, take not the Jews, Yahud, and the Christians, Nasara, for your friends and protectors. They are but friends and protectors to each other. And he amongst you that turns to them for friendship is of them, unbeliever. Sharia, which is founded upon Muhammad's Quran and his Sunnah, traditions about Muhammad contained in Hadiths, is hate-mongering, war-mongering, misogynist, racist, and hence totally ungodly. For those politically correct or Quran ignoramus people, the following Quranic verses prove my adjectives. Al-Anfal 8.55. For the worst of beasts in the sight of Allah are those who reject him. They will not believe. La yu'minuna. Muhammad 47.4. Therefore, when you meet the unbelievers, 80% of current humanity, smite at their necks. Al-Imran 3.85. If anyone desires a religion other than Islam, submission to Allah, never will it be accepted of him. Sharia gives Ummat al-Kuffar, 80% of humanity, three choices. 1. Convert to Muhammadan Islam whether they like it or not. 2. Submit to Muhammadan Islam in a humiliation and degradation forever. 3. Be exterminated. Ladies and gentlemen, calling Islam peaceful ranks as one of the most egregious lies that have ever been insinuated into the human consciousness. Anyone reading Islamic literature or watching their leaders, both secular and religious, publicly and repeatedly declaring that the sole purpose of Muhammadan Islam is to Islamize the whole of humanity should not be shocked. They assert that the Islamic flag will fly over the White House, the Houses of Parliament, the Vatican, and all other countries on earth. Their nefarious agenda is not hidden. It is flaunted every Friday sermon, from every pulpit, in every mosque around the world, whether in Muslim countries, USA, Europe, Russia, China, or wherever. They intend to bring humanity down to the abysmal darkness in which they exist. They truly believe, against all facts, reality, and logic, that they are the best of humanity just because Muhammad's Quran tells them so. Al-Imran 3.110. Ye are the best of peoples evolved for mankind, enjoining what is right, forbidding what is wrong, and believing in Allah. Al-Anfal 8.55. For the worst of beasts in the sight of Allah are those who reject Him. They will not believe. La yu'minuna. The above verses remind me of Hitler's Mein Kampf, the Nazi master race creed. Let me share with you and them the following indisputable facts. Every single piece of clothing that the followers of Muhammad wear was manufactured by unbelievers with machines invented and produced by unbelievers. All forms of transport that they use were invented, manufactured, and distributed by unbelievers. All their medicine is invented, manufactured, and produced by unbelievers. Every single item of science, technology, medicine, agriculture, etc. is a product of the inventive minds of unbelievers. Not a single item of the above was invented or produced by any follower of Muhammad. They boast about Islam's contribution to algebra, medicine, astronomy, etc., while deliberately and willfully ignoring the fact that all of these contributions were built upon knowledge that they plagiarized, plundered, and or pirated from the scientific foundations of civilizations that they conquered and subjugated, be they Byzantine, Persian, Egyptian, Indian, Chinese, etc. No human being can name 10 followers of Muhammad who have contributed anything of value for the advancement and or betterment of humanity in any field of human endeavor in the last 600 years from among 2,000 million Muhammadans. In a nutshell, Ummat Muhammad is the least productive, inventive, and or creative in human history, but have the audacity to declare total war against Ummat al-Kuffar, the nation of infidels, the most productive, inventive, creative, and powerful in human history, and think they can win. Can anyone listening or reading disprove a single item I have just declared? I have absolutely no doubt that no one can. The reason why Ummat Muhammad of 1,500 millions in 57 Muslim majority states are so backward industrially, scientifically, economically, and productively is simple. The common denominator is Muhammad's Quran. Muhammad's Quran and Sunnah prohibit his followers from ever enjoying life on earth. They are prohibited from dancing, playing musical instruments, singing, reciting poetry, sculpting or painting animals or humans, gambling, drinking wine, having consensual sex, wearing gold, befriending any human being who is not a Muhammadan, obeying any law which is not Sharia, treating females as if they are domestic animals, etc. Miraculously, most of these prohibitions become null and void when the so-called martyr dies fighting fi sabilillah, in the cause of Allah, slaughtering unbelieving, unarmed civilians in expectation of eternal rewards in the afterlife, in Muhammad's whorehouse version of paradise. Since their Quran contains all knowledge, how can they progress scientifically and intellectually beyond the time warp in which Muhammad chained them to 7th century Muhammad's Arabia? What has escaped the intellect of all scholars of Islam? I have not found a single one so far in the last 1400 years is the following fact. It is by divine will, qidra ilahiyya, and divine justice, haqq ilahi, that the very hadith that explain to the followers of Muhammad his Quran and Sunnah are the very same that utterly discredit Muhammad as a prophet and the alleged divine origin of his Quran. Muhammad's Quran is an ungodly scripture that was never revealed to Muhammad by any entity and most certainly not by Gabriel or Allah, because every single letter, word, verse, ayah, and chapter surah is the sole product of Muhammad's imaginings, the secretions of his mind, representing his alter ego and or autobiography, but very cleverly projected into the unsuspecting mouths of Allah and Gabriel to give them the aura of sanctity and divinity. To utterly discredit Muhammad as a prophet and the alleged divine origin of his Quran can be achieved without violence by just revealing the facts about his cult belief system. The worst nightmare of Muhammadan Islam is knowledge of the facts. The four horsemen of the apocalypse of Muhammadan Islam are called knowledge, 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 and knowledge. If all news media in the democracies address one chapter of Idiot's Guide to Islam a day and have questions and answers for 1 hour thereafter, as well as debate scholars of Islam on live TV, Muhammadan Islam will be the laughing stock in every country on earth.